I'm stunned. I can't, what are you all doing here? I'm really, I'm taken aback. Normally, when you go to like campus or, you go and meet with the college Republicans and you got like 9 people. And 6 of them are freaks, I'm shocked. Can somebody, you giving somebody giving something free away? Is that what this is? It's really impressive. I'm so glad to see this because, and I grew on a college campus, so I have to be, I have to be a little bit politic. I don't want to get, hammered because I came in here, but and delivered some real partisan things. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about what we're for, and then we'll take some questions. We'll screen them because I don't speak English, and they're all saying to me, "Well, what are we going to do?" Because everybody on the campus loves Obama. What are we supposed to do? And that's why I'm a little taken aback by this, because it tells me that the young people are really interested in being a Republican. And this is our low watermark, I think. Because frankly, when you look at Obama, he's a very appealing guy. He goes out there, he draws 75,000 people at these rallies, and it just blows my mind. And so I think this is the low watermark for us for a lot of different reasons. One is they have a very appealing and youngish candidate. And the second thing is that we really haven't stood on much principle within the period of the last couple of years, And it's been my experience that when you're young or when you're old, okay, you should never lose your idealism and you should never lose your hope about making for a better world. I got into politics basically, I should tell you a little story about it. Would you like to hear how I got started? I found myself in Moral Tower back in the old days where it was completely filled. And I had 15 college roommates. And, it was complete insanity. Okay, I have no idea. And the one, Moral was filled and Lincoln was filled with all 18-year-old freshmen, boys and girls that never been away from home before. And downtown, I learned later, they used to refer to the towers as Sodom and Gomorrah. And it was the right name. Okay? But anyway, so we had a ruckus, and I got fined with my roommates for something I hadn't done. And I decided I wasn't going to pay the bill. And I kept talking to the dorm advisors and my RA and all these other knuckleheads, none of whom were listening to me. So I demanded a meeting with the president of the university, and they wouldn't let me in there either until I threatened to put a sleeping bag outside the door of the administration building. And when Novice Fawcett, who was the president when I was here, I threatened that I would tackle him on his way inside the building. So the lady told me to come in the next day. And so I put my hair up under my hat and put on my best blue jeans and blue jean shirt and went in to see Dr. Fawcett. And, he was a very impressive guy. He was about 6'5". He was very cool and very president of the university. He was the epitome of what they looked like. So I went in and I told him all the things that I was upset about, and I was pretty impressed with the big office. And I'd been in school about 30 days, and so I said to him, sir, I'm undecided here at Ohio State, but with the secretary and the big office and the nice furniture, I'm thinking maybe this is this is a job for me. What do you do in this job? And so he told me about his responsibilities, and he said that he was going to go down beyond his academic and fundraising. He was going to go to Washington the next day and see President Nixon. This was in 1970. And because he had supported Nixon, and I said, well, look, I'd like to talk to him too, could I go with you? And he told me I couldn't go. And so I said, well, if I write a letter, would you give it to the president? Now, he had never seen me. This would be like, who's a freshman here? Okay. Well, this is like in 2 weeks, okay? This would happen to me back when I was in school. So So I went home and I did this letter to President Nixon, and then I told him how I thought he was doing, the good, the bad, the ugly, and I signed, sincerely, John Kasich. P.S. If you'd like to discuss it further, let me know. I'll see you. So down in Morrill Tower, they had these mailboxes that were glass, and so you can see in it. So I looked in and I see this letter from the White House, so I open it up, and it's pretty cool. And so I go upstairs, I call home, and my mother answers the phone, and I told her, I said, Mom, I just got a letter from the President of the United States, and he would like to have a meeting with me in the Oval Office. I need an airline ticket to fly to Washington. And my mother is shouting to my dad, pick up the phone, something's wrong with Johnny. So to make a long story short, I went home to Pittsburgh over the Christmas break after the end of the first quarter, and my meeting was scheduled for late in December. And my parents took me to the airport, and my mother, typical, said, Johnny, you're going to get down there and they're not going to let you in. Come on. Yeah, they couldn't really conceive of this because my father was a mailman, carried mail on his back, and very blue collar and tough little area, So I go down, I go to the White House, and I'm, kind of like Willy Wonka, and I walk up and I say, hi, I'm John Kasich here for meeting with the president. The guy at the gate, he lets me in, so I get to go ask if he has a telephone so I can call home and tell my mom I got in. So anyway, I went to the right outside the Oval Office, and the guy says to me, I'm going to give you 5 minutes alone with the President of the United States. Is that cool? I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I came all this way, I got a new jacket, a new shirt, new tie, new pants. I ain't coming out in 5 minutes. You're out of luck. You're going to have to sense. So I went in, and they said, this is President John Kasich, President of the United States. We shook hands, and I spent about 20 minutes alone with him in the Oval Office. And as she mentioned, I spent 18 years in Congress, and if you add up all the time I spent in the Oval Office, I peaked out at the age of 18, and it should have gone to be a lawyer or something. And that was really what got me first interested in politics. And then I applied for a White House internship, and I